Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Morning Kickoff with Unbiased Opinion. I am your host, Tony, also known as Low Tone Tony, Couch Scout Extraordinaire, and some even call me Pastor Trenches. The top of the morning to you guys, especially on the East Coast, 7 a.m. Eastern Time there. It's a smooth 98 degrees where I'm located in the UAE, 98 and sunny. Let me know what the temperature is like where you guys are located. And how was you guys' weekend? Tell me about your weekend. I did enough fellowshipping with the fellas this weekend, talking a little trash, talking some knowledge, uh, sharing some things or whatnot. So yeah, this weekend was a pretty good weekend. Shout out to PPP for that live marathon that he had on Saturday. Shout out Unc always. Um, my cousin CJ, well, Carolina Armchair GM CJ, went live Saturday. Shout out to him. Um, yeah, Twan Don, 704 Charlotte Bound Show. Shout out to those guys. Yeah, so shout out to everybody this morning, and I hope everybody had a prosperous weekend. Everything went according to your plan, and everybody is safe and sound and woke up this morning in the right with the right spirit. Monday is never easy. The first day of the work week, I get it, but hey, life don't stop, so you can't stop. That's the plan. That's the plan. All right, so we're gonna continue this week. My topic of with the front office. All right. So I wanted to shed light on the people that make the decisions about the product that we see on the field each and every Sunday. And today is Dan Morgan's day. All right. Friday was Daryl Bevel. I believe Thursday was Brad Izzet we spoke about. We spoke about Dave Canales Wednesday. Ejero Rivera was part one and part two for Monday and Tuesday. So again, this today is about Dan Morgan roster building test. Is it a bold vision or too much risk? All right, that's the title for today. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button as always. Subscribe, turn on that post notification bell. When you hit that bell, select all so that way you'll be made aware when I go live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay. Share it with your family and friends. I would greatly appreciate it. As always, we're building real conversation over here. No fake hot takes, no media spin, just the facts, film when it is available in the football context. All right. So make sure you check the links in the YouTube description. So if you're viewing this morning through Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk, it will be in the description. All my social media links to YouTube, Twitter, and even my Patreon community that I'm building over there. So you guys check that out as well. The links to all three is in the bottom of the YouTube description. All right. And remember, Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk is part of the Carolina Armchair GM Network. So that is talking about my cousin CJ, his channel. All right. So as always, we're gonna shake a little honey from the tree. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody wants to come up on the panel. So I will drop that link real quick. All right. Let me read got a couple comments here in from the chat. NH official 7 said Phillips ranked sixth in hurries with 60. He had an 18.4 pass rush win rate, ranking seventh. Going to be interesting what happens. Yeah, I have them from Next Gen Stats, which is owned by NFL.com or they relationship. Yeah, I can't remember if they actually own it or is however it is, but yeah, he was given credit for 63 pressures last year, which ranked 11th in the league. So that's what I got from Next Gen Stats. All right, well, appreciate that, NH official. Reality Beat says, "Good morning. What's the topic?" Well, Dan Morgan is the topic in his roster building. Is it too much of a risk? Is he? Is the vision bold? There's a lot of questions surrounding Jaelan Phillips and the money that was given to him and whether he's worth it or not, So there's definitely been a lot of conversation, a lot of debate about that. So we'll get into all of that this morning. But appreciate you checking in, Riyadh the Beast. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're here as well, too. NH official. I forgot to say that. My apologies. Tim Bolick, good morning, LTT. Good morning, Tim. Appreciate you for being here. If you guys haven't hit that like button on your way in, I started a poll. So you guys should see the poll as you enter the chat. I don't know if it's made available on CJ's channel, but if you are tuned in through Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk, then the poll would definitely be there. All right. All right. Cole Roy said, "Good morning, man. Another day I get to wake up and watch. You the man. Keep pounding." Hey, I appreciate that, my guy. I definitely appreciate that. My goal each and every morning is to give you good vibes, give you a good conversation, a debate, you know, um, good energy, I know it's early in the morning. A lot of people don't want that nonsense early in the morning. Some people don't even like to talk to nobody this early in the morning, but just want to listen. Whether it's your favorite tunes or talk show or podcaster or what have you. I'm glad that I can be in that rotation. I appreciate that, Cole. D Cash with a Tony. Each and every morning you hit me with that D Cash. Appreciate you, my guy. Hey, hit that like button on the way in and check out the poll that was generated as well for you guys as you entered. Yeah, tell me about you guys' weekend, man. How's everybody weekend? What's the weather like? What's the weather like where you at, D Cash? Cole, what's the weather like? Tim, Reality Beats, NH official. Yeah, you guys tell me what the weather is like where you guys located. All right. I would love to know. I would love to know. Gerald Sticks said, "Good morning, Tony and chat. Hey, top of the morning to you there, Sailor. Appreciate you tapping in this morning. What's the weather what's the weather like where you at, Gerald? Hit that like button on your way in. And y'all make sure y'all answer the poll. All right, make sure you answer the poll. NH says 30 degrees. You can have that. Appreciate it. I am not freezing for nobody. No sir, can't do it. And I'm a snow baby. When I was born, there was like 2.5 feet of snow on the ground in Wilmington. So yeah, but yeah, the way things are built right now, yeah, you can have that. You can have that snow, and that's crazy that I say that because I like, of course, I love the AC. Don't get me wrong, and I love for it to be nice and cool when I'm sleeping. I just don't like to be snowed in. I don't mind it, but I don't like it. So, yeah, 30 degrees. Now that you can have, I can do without that part. The cash says supposed to be raining all day. Yeah, man. I ain't seen. I don't think we've seen rainbow once this year so far where I'm at. And they said, nah, that's hot for the UK. What you absolutely right. The UK, if I'm not mistaken, the UK, most of their apartments and houses don't have air conditioning because the temperature doesn't it's like always cold and rainy over there in the UK. I have a couple friends here that's from the UK, and they have always told me about it. I don't think I could live in the UK, dog. Y'all ain't got no AC. Nah, I can't do that. Can't do that, my guy. Cole Rory says, "See, my girlfriend met her grandparents after a year of dating. Definitely getting serious. She's also a Panthers fan, and it's raining here. Well, congratulations, man. Glad that you finally met her grandparents and that you guys are both Panther fans. You know what I'm saying? Happy 1 year anniversary to you guys." Reality said, "Off and on thunderstorms and muggy in Jacksonville, Florida. Duval, stand up." Eartha White, reality. That's what I was trying to think of a few days ago when I asked you about Jacksonville, and I was telling you where my mom grew up at. Eartha White Boys Club. And there used to be a community pool named after Eartha White. And there was also a nursing home that my grandmother worked at called Eartha White. That's the name I was trying to think of, dog. Right? Down Moncrief. Down Moncrief, the boys club was on the left hand side, like you going towards can't forget that neighborhood. Oh man, can't forget the neighborhood. Almost like you going towards Rains High School, if I'm not mistaken. Now I ain't been there in a long time. I'm just trying to remember off memory, but childhood memories. I used to go to that boys club every summer. Yes, sir. High of 80 degrees with passing thunderstorms in the capital of the city. All right, Gerald. Put them paws on them. What's up, Papa? He said 80 degrees. 80 degrees. All right. My man B. Amos said, "Big Tone, what up? What up, CJ?" Yeah, I don't know if CJ tapped in yet. He may be listening on his way to work or whatnot. But appreciate you, B. Amos. Yeah, and I got you locked in on yeah, I got you locked in. And they say, yeah, weather can be very odd at times. Absolutely. Uh, Papa said that's too many funky butts walking around with no AC. Shake. Hey, hey, I ain't gonna say all that, Papa. I ain't gonna say they having funky butts, but yeah, that's one thing about the UK. They do not believe in AC, and the weather there doesn't even really call for it. To be honest, it really doesn't call for it. But I just can't imagine in my mind, um, living in a house or being somewhere and not having AC. But their temperature is always raining and kind of muggy light. You know, the temperature is always low, so it really doesn't call for AC. But hey, I'm just used to it, so that's what I need in my life. We had to be say, "Oh yeah, I know Moncrief. It's bad over there." Nah, I try to stay away. Bunch of YNs. Yep, Moncrief's always been bad, dog. Always been bad. Always. Yes, sir. Broski, appreciate you tapping in, Broski. He said NH drop degrees Celsius, 30 degrees Celsius equals 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. I didn't know exactly what it equals to, but yeah, 86. But over there in the UK, the 86 don't feel like what 86 would feel like in the United States or even here in the UAE. Like the UK is different over there. It's different. I can't really explain it, but it is different. Yeah. But appreciate you tapping in, broski. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button. Answer the poll questions when you come in. I greatly appreciate it. Cole said, "Oh, you talking to Papa saying you funny." Nice and cool right now in Hickory. We had good rain last night. Okay, Tim. All right. So let's see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started a little bit. So Dan Morgan told us he will be patient without being passive. He said the Panthers will not be reckless, but they would be aggressive. They would aggressively attack the weakness on the roster. Okay, so that sounded good when Carolina was trying to climb out of the bottom of the league, but after reaching the playoffs for the first time since 2017 and winning the NFC South for the first time since 2015, the expectations have changed. Morgan is no longer being judged only on whether the roster is better. He is being judged on whether the roster is good enough to contend. That brings us to Jaelan Phillips. All right. The much talked about Jaelan Phillips. Carolina gave Phillips a 4-year, $120 million contract with $80 million guaranteed. The talent is real, the disruption is real, but the injury history is also real. So today we are not going to call the move a guaranteed success or a guaranteed failure. We're going to ask the real football question. And I'm asking this to the people in the chat right now so you guys can respond. Is Dan Morgan building a legitimate contender through smart, calculated aggression, or has he started taking risks that can become too expensive if they do not work? All right. Read that again. Is Dan Morgan building a legitimate contender through smart, calculated aggression, or has he started taking risks that can become too expensive if they do not work? So y'all respond to that in the chat. I will greatly I'm interested in what you guys think. Broski said 86 no AC, that's a mess. Absolutely. Reality B said Jalen Phillips got 4 fourth down stops, 24 third down stops by himself, and 3 interceptions assists. That's better than anything else we got on the edge. That's facts. That's facts. I seen somebody put a cut up of his, I think it was Panthers Post, put a cut up of his on Twix. I call Twitter / X Twix. So when y'all hear me say Twix, y'all know what I'm talking about. Put a cut up of Jaelan Phillips and how his disruption led to sacks for other people, the interceptions, assists, like you said, reality, how that led to interception assists. So yeah, there were times where he got home, got his hand on the quarterback, but didn't get the sack. But somebody else came and cleaned it up, forced the quarterback off his spot, forced the quarterback into making a bad decision. So those are all the type of things that pressure can create. So, we've had this long debated question about, what would you have? What would you like to have the most of, whether it's sacks or pressures? And I think everybody voiced their opinion where they stand on that. So I'm not going to rehash that conversation because we know we're gonna move past that. Okay, popping, laughing at Cole. All right, Cole Rory said better than who the GM and coach who shall not be named. Okay, all right, Cole. Yeah, all right. So yeah, anybody want to come up on the panel, man? Hey, I dropped the link already. It's in the chat. I would greatly appreciate it. Somebody come and join me so we can get into the the first topic of the day. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that topic up, and that is what is Dan Morgan building? All right, what is Dan Morgan building? So here's the facts. Dan Morgan became Carolina's president of football operations and general manager in 2024. Since then, the Panthers have gone from a 2-win team before his tenure to a playoff team in the NFC South Championship following the 2025 season. Morgan has repeatedly emphasized attacking roster weaknesses while remaining patient and avoiding reckless decisions. Entering the 2026 offseason, he identified pass rush and linebacker as major needs, then added Jaelan Phillips and Devin Lloyd early in free agency. Morgan also described Phillips and Lloyd as long, physical, and high effort players with instincts, range, and preparation habits he wants on defense. All right. So the context is Morgan's roster identity is becoming easier to recognize. He wants size, length, athleticism, physicality, and players who play with effort. He has also shown that he is willing to spend premium money when he believes a player feels a major need. Let me say that again. He is willing to spend premium money when he believes a player feels a major need. How you guys feel about that? Because we all know it's always a topic of discussion when it's time to pay somebody. It makes me wonder what fans really want. Because it's like when free agency hits, I always hear people say, "Oh, we need to go get X, Y, Z. We need to go get this person, that person. We need to bring the best people in." But then when it's time to pay those people, then people complain about the money. And I'm like, I'm gonna need for you to pick a struggle. Decide which one you want to be mad at. You want to be mad at the people that we bringing in, or the people that we are attempting to go after, or you want to be mad at the money that we give them. Because if you want premium players, people that are high on the list, free agency list, that particular year, you're going to pay premium dollars. You're not the only person shopping for a premium player, whether it's pass rusher, or corner, or defensive tackle, or offensive tackle, running back. Don't even matter the position. If that player commands premium money, somebody's going to give it to them. And just because we choose to give a player premium money, then all of a sudden people say, well, he's not worth it. He's not worth this much. He's not worth that much. Well, the market dictates that. And the market, and based off its production, says that what they're doing is right. Because what they won't give him, somebody else will. Just go back to, the end of the 24 season with Milton Williams. We tried our best to get Milton Williams, and the Patriots came in at the last second after we have thought that Milton Williams was ready to sign. And New England came in with a little bit more money. So what he do? He went to New England. Well, this time Dan Morgan said, we're not gonna let that happen again. So they was on it before free agency officially kicked off. And then when it did kick off, one of the first signings was Jaelan Phillips. Go get the guy that you deem to be an answer to a position that you need. And that's what they did. So all the you know, un you know, how would you call it? Um Not sure about this, not sure about that, all the negative, speculation and conversation around how much somebody got paid. I mean, listen, either we want to continue shopping at the Dollar General, or you want to go to Macy's or Saks Fifth Avenue. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get what you pay for. I think that relates to anything in life. Where you talking about your house, the appliances, buying a first class ticket as opposed to economy, you get what you pay for. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. All right. NH official said pressures, yes. For pressures, yes. All right. Reality B said, I'm so glad it's willing to spend for great talent. Me too, reality. Me too. Now it's not to say there's no reservation or slight hesitation, based off injuries and things like that. But you know, the guy showed that he can play 17 games after two gruesome injuries that have slowed down his his progress in the league. So, it's not like he's coming off an injury riddled year. He's coming off a season where he played 17 games for two teams and produced at both. So I don't understand the he's not worth this or he's not worth that. Not fully anyway. I'm just going off the production that he did last year, basically. Um, so yeah, that's how I feel about that. Let me drop the link one more time in the chat. Anybody want to pop up? All right, there go the link. If anybody wants to be on the panel before I get into the debate question. Yeah. Uh does Dan Morgan decision or does it automatically make the plan right or wrong? But it does mean the Panthers are no longer operating like a team, expecting another slow rebuild. I believe that Carolina is trying to build a roster capable of winning now while continuing to develop their young talent for the future. Because I think that's one of the most important things um, is the development of the young players that you select in the draft. Um, it looks like those guys are. I don't want to say being extra picky, but they are being decisive when it comes to who they bring in, the character of said player, based on production, and does that player fit the scheme offensively and defensively? And I know Dan Morgan caught a lot of grief when he got hired because a lot of people felt like he was part of the Scott Fitterer regime and that he somehow was making final decisions as an assistant GM, and that was further from the truth. Um, did he have input? Did he voice his opinion? Of course he did. You know what I'm saying? But the final decision to those roster moves, when Scott Fitterer was the GM, that's on Scott Fitterer. That's on Scott Fitterer. That's on whoever the head coach was at that time. I think Matt Rule and then Frank Wright. They make the final decisions. So when Dan Morgan got the position, I was excited. I was happy for him because for the first time we have an actual GM that played the game and played the game at a high caliber. You know what I'm saying? So he knows what keep pounding means to the Carolinas, what it means to the Panthers. He knows what it's supposed to look like. He played under the man who created the keep pounding mantra, Sam Mills. So he's well aware of all of that. So that's why I give him a leg up in making football decisions because you have a someone that actually played the game that look at it from the inside out and can make decisions based off of what it is that he wants to build or him and Dave Canales want to build as a unit. And I think they're on the same accord on what they want to build going forward. Um, but it takes time. Again, they mentioned at the first press conference that they had that they want to build through the draft. They want to add players at free agency, and it's not going to happen overnight. This is a process, and I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe that what they said is not true. So I'm going to um, I'm going to believe in what they said, and from what I see, yeah, everything is on track. Yeah, everything is on track in my opinion. Broski Bear said, I think it's fair to say that baseline expectations for him this season. What are you expecting as far as hurry, sacks, QB hits, etc.? Well, I don't have a certain number, Broski. I think that would not I think that would be unfair to set expectations on him, and then when he don't meet your said expectations, then that gives you the green light to say, oh, well, he's not as good as expected. What I do expect is for him to increase the pass rush production throughout the whole defensive line. What I do expect is to hopefully turn more pressures into sack as a unit. Um, and I think that's what Ivero and Dan Morgan is looking at. It's not just about his individual stats and what he can do. How can you affect the whole unit as a collective, and how can we raise the productivity as a unit, not just one person? So no, I don't have a set number of hurry, sacks, QB hits, etc. for him, but for the team, I expect to see a level um, of increased production as a whole. Said 2025, he had 20 hurries, 5, 6, 14 QB hits. Do you expect more of or less this season? Well, 2025, he had more than 20 hurries. He had 63 hurries, which ranked him 11th in the league. And I got that from Next Gen Stats. So if anybody want to double check that, Next Gen Stats is where I got that from. So I don't know where you got 20 hurries from, Broski. Um, you, hey, let me know in the comments where you got that from. But I I'm willing to bet 99.9% that what I got off NFL from Next Gen Stats would is accurate. So DCAS said facts. Broski said, I hear what you're saying. The hope is raise the level of play across the defense as a unit. Makes sense. Yeah. Villain Trucker 2680 said, question, would you rather lead the league in sacks or takeaways? Mm, that's a good question. That's a good question. I think whichever category leads to wins on Saturdays. Um, yeah, so yeah, I don't I don't I don't think either or would mean much if the whole team doesn't benefit from it. So you can lead. I mean, it does. What it does is give your offense more possessions. It takes away possessions from teams. So let's just throw a number out there. If you have 15, no, I'm not saying. To say you have 15 takeaways, I'm just throwing a number out there. 15 takeaways and 30 sacks. So technically, you have with your 15 takeaways, that means you have stolen a possession for the offense, right? You have stolen the extra possession for the offense. Um 30 sacks, that doesn't necessarily mean that those 30 sacks leads to extra possessions for the offense. You can have a sack on first down, second down, or third down. You know, they can complete a first down after the sack. So that is the hard way to figure that out. Takeaways, definitely. If the team has 15 interceptions, well, that's 15 extra possessions that they've given the offense, and 15 less that the opposing offense has because of the interception. So you know, um, there's Yeah, to answer your question, there's not just one clear cut answer because so many other things factor into that. But if I had to choose one, I would take takeaways over the sacks. Cash said I got 60 hurries and 76 pressures. Okay. Yeah. Check A. Like I said, I don't, where I got the information from is Next Gen Stats. So they are affiliated with the NFL. So in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, that's going to be just as official as you can get. Okay. But both of those numbers are definitely better than 20. I don't know where Broski got 20 from. So yeah. Appreciate you, D Cash. Hey, appreciate you too, with villain trucker 2680. Thank you for tapping in this morning. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, turn on your post notification bell so whenever I go live, you'll be made aware. If you're not following Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk, please do so. Subscribe to my channel as well. Um, yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see the poll if you're coming through Carolina Armchair GMCJ's channel, but through my channel, you can definitely see the poll. All right. Villain Trucker says salute. And salute to you, my guy. But that was a good question. That was a good question. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate it. All right. So since nobody's hit the panel, I'm just gonna ask you in the chat. So the first question for the topic, what is Dan Morgan building? The question is, has Dan Morgan established a real roster building identity, or are the Panthers still collecting talent without proving that all the pieces fit together? All right. What you guys what you guys feel about that? Um has he established a roster building identity, or are the Panthers still collecting talent without proving that all the pieces fit together? Um, I think he has established a roster building identity. Like I said earlier, I believe that the blueprint of what him and Dave Canales want, had they laid it out pretty pretty easy, and for people to follow, people to understand what he wanted to do, build through the draft, add some free agents here and there that they feel could immediately help the team. They want to develop their young players. So from what I've seen in their first 2 years together, going into year three, they have done just that. So I think right now, from what I see, they are on course to do exactly what it is that they want to do. I don't see any reason to feel like what they're building or what they're doing has been derailed in any way. Um so yeah, I definitely feel good about the roster building identity. Um I don't the collecting talent without proving that all the pieces fit together. Well, I think when you think about that part of it, excuse me, that goes to the draft picks, right? Your young drafted players. Um, that first draft class, it was good. It wasn't the best. There was definitely some hit and miss pieces in that draft that we have all talked about on different podcasts and within the Panther community, whether it's Xavier Leggett or Jonathan Brooks. those two in particular. Um, but the draft the following year, I think that draft had a lot of players that have contributed early. So when you talk about Nick Gordon, Princely, Umami Allen, Terrell McMillan, trying to think, uh, Trevor Achan, on special teams. Um, Guys that have well, Trevor Achan was 2024. Sorry. So yeah, a lot of the young guys have gotten playing time, have stuck around, have proven, in my opinion, that the Panthers have made good draft picks. Um, but with that comes time when it comes to developing the player. You know, Veterans in free agency or guys that get traded for whatever that have had more time in NFL. They're more of established players. You kind of already know um what you're going to get. Yeah. So yeah, the collection of the talent. There's still some guys that have some things to prove. Trevor Wallace needs to prove that he can stay healthy. Okay, we definitely had plenty of conversations about that. Um, Things like with Lee Hunter is unknown. What are we expecting from him this year? Okay, um, there's people that speak highly of Zakee Wheatley. There's some that speak highly of Will Lee. People that we haven't seen on the NFL field yet. So those are unknowns. But I feel good about the guys that Dan Morgan and Dave Canales have brought in. Um, where they're going to actually fit, where they actually going to shine. Um, I have no idea. I think the preseason will tell us a lot about our young guys. The preseason will tell us a lot because I'm pretty sure they will get plenty of playing time, and by us playing in the Hall of Fame game gives you an extra preseason game. So yeah, I definitely like the guys that we have. I just want to see it on the film. I just want to see it on the film. So let's see. Let me go back up here. So Broski said Pro Football Reference where I got the stats. Okay, Broski. Villain Trucker said that's a two-sided answer. Defense has an identity. Offense is collecting talent. Hmm. Uh, I don't. Does the defense really have an identity? Uh, Yet I don't think they have an established identity yet. I don't think the team as a whole has an established identity yet. I think they have an established culture. Of what they want to be uh inside, the locker room, the team identity, what they want to present to the fans as far as identity on defense or offense. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think they're on track. They're closer to being on track on defense than they are on offense. I think offense has a little bit more of a ways to go in developing that identity. I know Dave Canales said initially they want to be a run first team. Well, in the first 2 years, I haven't really seen that come to fruition. Because if that's your identity, regardless if you're getting 150 yards a game or 50 yards a game, you stick to your identity, in my opinion, no matter what. You gonna always attempt to hang your hat on your identity. And we've seen times where Dave Canales, in my opinion, has abandoned that identity because we may be behind 7 points or 10 points, or the run game doesn't look like it's going to be successful enough after the first 5 to 7 carries. So then you try to do other things. No, I think you should stick to your identity, especially the first quarter or second quarter, especially if the game is not out of hand. There's no reason, in my opinion, to deviate greatly from that. Um Defensively, I think the defense is a little bit closer when it comes to that. They made that big jump from being 32 in the league to 16. Um, there was still one glaring position that they need to improve at, and that was third down efficiency. I think they were 31st in the league last year. Before that, they was 32 in 2024. So that's one glaring need that they need to get better at to to have created said identity in my opinion. Yeah. SC say low tone. What's up, low tone? What's good, SC? Hey, appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate you being here this morning. Hit that like button, my guy. And if you guys uh enjoy the channel, as always, support the show. QR codes at the top right corner. You can scan that QR code. My daily goal is $25. That's it. It's $25. So if you're enjoying the conversation, the energy, the vibe this morning, show love to the show. Support the show. I greatly appreciate it. And I also have it pinned in the comments. If it's easier for you to click on the link, it's pinned in the comments to my PayPal. So yeah, I would definitely appreciate it. And if you do, let me know in the comments that you support the show so I can shout you out, because the PayPal, I'm not gonna give out nobody's real government name. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, if you donate to the channel, just let me know in the comments that you donated, and I would definitely shout you out for that. Okay. Broski said found the next gen stats definitions. Okay, Broski. All right. As he said, oh, he's talking to Dcash. Next gen stats say they use chips and monitors to track the stats. NFL is big money. Okay, Broski, that's cool. The fact is that's that's the stat. That's the stat that has been tracked by the NFL. So I don't know where you're going with that or what you're trying to say. That's credible information that I got. All right. Good morning, Ronnie. He said, "Good morning, fellas. Great start to our Monday. Keep pounding for sure. Hey, keep pounding, Ronnie. Appreciate you tapping in this morning. Hit the like button. Answer the chat poll if you don't mind. And if you feel like it, support the show. The QR code is at the top right. Again, scan the QR code, and there's also a link that's pinned in the comments on YouTube. Um, I don't know if you can see it on both my channel and CJ channel, but let me put it in. Let me put it in the StreamYard chat. That way everybody can get to it. All right. So yeah, I just posted that in the channel. I mean, post that in the chat. I'm sorry. Brooks, I agree, Tony. I don't think the team overall has established their identity yet. That combined with having a new play caller, and the Panthers are a real wild card on offense week one. Yep, that's facts. Yep, week one has not been kind to us the past 2 years, 2 or 3 years. The HUD's 1246 of the defense has takeaways, specifically interceptions. Hey, that's true, J Hud. Hey, appreciate you tapping in, my guy. Appreciate you also always conversing with me on Patreon. Nobody um answers the questions and things like that and respond better than J Hud. So I appreciate that, man. That personal um interaction between me and my supporters on Patreon is a big thing for me. So I appreciate you doing that, my guy. Broski said it would be an interesting matchup week one. Yeah, it will be interesting. I'm definitely I definitely can't wait to see how it plays out. See, Villain Trucker says, playing our defense, you have to be judicious with your ball placement. We are very opportunistic and running is a grudge match. Is there room for improvement? Yes, always. That's facts. That's facts. Cyburn said, good morning. Good morning, Cyburn. Hey, appreciate you tapping in this morning, my guy. Appreciate you tapping in. Rocha said, Tony, you missed my comments before me saying I found the stat definitions. I listed the definitions before that comment. Yeah, Broski, I saw all that. I'm not here to debate what the definition is and how people feel about the definition. I'm just telling you where I got the stats from. I ain't missing anything. Yeah. I'm not I'm not gonna get in debate about what the definition and how people feel about it. The stat is the stat. Ryan said 1 year of success on defense does not create an identity. Consistently applying the same mindset that contributes to wins is called an identity. When teams know exactly who you are, that's big facts. All caps, big facts. That's right, Ronnie. I couldn't have said it any better than that. Appreciate that, dog. Uh Bedlam Trucker said one of the biggest holes in our pass defense is the tight end running back coverage that seems to be solved with Lloyd and possibly Taylor. Yeah, Devin Lloyd is definitely better than any linebacker that we had in coverage. He understands where to be on dropbacks, um, picking a spot in the zone. You know, he has the length and everything to succeed. So he did it at Utah and he did it at Jacksonville. So I hope that carries over for us. Let me bring up my boy here. Chico, what it do, baby?
Tony, what's happening, my guy?
Man, I can't call it. You know, six in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Guess I called even, dog. What's
Hey, that's what they say, huh?
happening? That's what the people say, man. Talk to me. What's on your mind this morning? How was your weekend, dog?
Oh man, I had a pretty eventful weekend, man. To say the least. But while life, and we still on the optimistic side.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So yeah, I pretty much I try to control what I can control. And everything
Yeah,
outside of that, I don't really get too much energy. Ain't stressing on too much. The shit I can't change. I'm gonna just do what I can do. I might vent here and there, or blow off a
yeah.
little steam. But other than that, yeah, man, hey, peace and moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Peace, be still.
Exactly, bro. So
Peace, be
we are
still.
we are in control of our own emotions and reactions. No matter what somebody may say or do or project on us.
Right.
Ultimately, we have the power of how we respond and how we let it affect us.
Hey, that right there, my
That
brother.
goes into with the Panthers as well.
Hey, you said a mouthful right there. Well, hold on. Let me shout out SC Panther Boy for the $25 not $25 super chat, for the $25 PayPal gift that I just received. Hey, SC, I appreciate you, my guy. You always come through and show love and appreciation to the channel and your support to me and CJ, man. So I greatly appreciate it, my brother. Definitely don't go unnoticed. I need you to send me um a message on Patreon so I can send you a direct message back, SC. So do that for me on Patreon. Send me a message. All right. And I think yeah, okay, NH. Yes, I did get that one. Appreciate what was it? The $2 was it two? Yeah, the $2 PayPal gift that you sent. I greatly appreciate that, my guy. Hey, you've been a good supporter for me as well. Been tapping in every morning. So yeah, thank you for the love. I hope you guys are enjoying the show this morning. Um, so yeah, the topic is Dan Morgan and his roster building. Is it aggressive or too much risk? So Tico, you been listening in this morning?
Uh, Not necessarily. I hopped in
Okay.
right at the tail end of it, but I saw the poll and
Okay.
a little bit about what you were saying before you brought me up. So
So the first topic is about Dan Morgan's build roster building, and the debate question was: has Dan Morgan established a real roster building identity, or are the Panthers still collecting talent without proving that all the pieces fit together? And before you answer that, let me bring Papa to the stage real quick. Papa, put them paws on them. What's
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
with you?
yeah, yeah. Good morning, man. We're gonna put these paws on them on any of these subject matters that we're discussing. Good morning. Wake y'all asses up, brush your teeth. Yeah, whatever you got to do, man. You checking in right now on the livest breakfast, morning coffee, sleep, whatever time it is. Get your butt up and tap in, baby.
yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes,
We out
sir.
there.
Tico still in
Yeah.
the bed. Get
Oh,
up, Tico.
Oh no,
hey, Tico
hey,
always sound like he's still in the bed, dog.
wait, hey. Let's just say
But
I used to
yeah.
wake and bake. I'm still waking and baking.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh.
I hear you.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just read the debate question. Tico, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first.
yeah. I think they have a real plan of the type of players that they want to bring in, and I think that just in this short time we see the difference between Scott Fitter and even your boy Tepper, as far as letting the football people make the football decisions. Hiring one of those guys that help people hire people. What I'm saying, for less of a better
Yeah.
term. But
Yeah.
him stepping back and Dan Morgan not only playing the game but playing the game at a high level. He know what to look for.
Right.
He knows he knows what his eyes tell him. He can sit down in front of a player and know if they bullshitting him or not. He can look at film and just you know addition by abstraction type shit. Like it's certain players that he wouldn't even like. No, I'm good. Type shit. Nobody else might not even know what he's talking about, but just with his knowledge and his eyes, it just breaks down a whole lot of shit in the wash, so to speak. Um, I think he still has Scott Fitterer's scouts in there that first draft. Um,
Right.
I guess we can all surmise that that was probably a little bit below average draft, depending on if we want to count what those players are doing right now. Uh, so JB is still a question mark, but until right now, question mark is a question mark going into his third year. So most people didn't even like it when it happened, and it kind of uh, has proven to be that way thus far with the season upcoming. But you can see the difference. You can see that. One thing I want to bring up, I think I said it on PPP show, but a lot of people think we was about to get off and it was kind of late. But we have
Okay.
zero off the field issues. Think about that.
That's yeah.
Zero.
That's
That's
a
not by
fact.
mistake,
Yeah.
bro. So when they say you miss on the person and not the player most of the time, they truly
Y
believe that shit, bro. And they ain't saying
yeah.
those boys perfect, and they ain't doing, ain't nobody perfect. Everybody have fun, let their hair down, whatever. But they policing themselves, and they stand under the radar. We ain't heard nothing about nobody from the Carolina Panthers in these streets.
Right. Right. That's
So
facts.
you see what I'm saying? So we went from 2 to 5 to 8, and even with practice squad guys and people sleeping on the couch and working at the chicken plant and at the warehouses from 23 to 24. So having guys that ain't even third stringers out there, and we still kind of holding our own. When Bryce came back in 24, we beat the Rams without JC, without
Yeah.
Boom, without Morig, without Trevin Wallace, maybe a lineman, I think, or two that was out. And then we come back and we're supposed to really beat them if we could have got a stop. So we did more with less for a long time. And all we
Yeah.
had to do was keep the game close, play, bend but don't break. I mean, it kind of affected the way we had to play the game because of the talent that we had. But that's the way we had to play to stay in the game and be opportunistic on defense with some of these teams. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they have the blueprint. And while they're trying to draft and develop people, they're slowly getting free agents to buy in. So I think you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah, I'm
can
with
get a
you.
Devin Lloyd and a Jaelan Phillips to come to Carolina and be like, yeah, these boys, hey, I like where they going. And, say, I fuck with Bryce type shit. And, yeah, I want to be a part of this turnaround.
Got you. I got you. Poppin', what you got, Poppin'? Talk to
Just
me.
give
You,
me 2 minutes. I'm working with somebody real quick at the register.
Nah,
okay, go ahead. Go
nigga,
ahead.
ain't nobody gonna give you, nah. Finna drop you off the stage, nigga.
Already.
Hey, but Tico, so when you look at Dan Morgan's moves, what is the clearest identity you see being built right now in Carolina?
People who love the game, people that you ain't got to look for, that ain't standing in the back, that ain't looking for a reason not to practice and not to work out. They love the
Mm,
game, first and foremost,
yeah,
period.
yeah, yeah. Hey, Broski asked you a question. He said, Tico, what do you see the Panthers' identity becoming on defense and also on offense? That was directed at you, Tico.
Uh, mm, defense. I think the defense is going to be, I'm not necessarily, I think it's going to be a more like what we've been seeing with him clouding up the quarterback's windows. But it's going to be with a little bit more pressure this time. So,
Okay.
Gerald Everett's calling card is the secondary and breaking down, the route progressions and the schemes, game plans for the team that they're playing that week. So all
Right.
he needs is a little bit of pressure to go along with that, that cover three match, and then how we can play a little bit more man, little palms or whatever the case may be. But I think it's gonna be a
Yeah.
little bit more of the same, a lot of picks with more pressures and sacks,
Mm.
stopping the
Okay.
run on early downs, having I like those three up front in the base 3-4. That's why people talking about Bobby Brown. He ain't gonna be out there that much. You know, you know what I'm
But
saying?
on the but hold right there though, Tico. In
All
in
right, I'm
in
back.
a base true 3-4.
Yes,
So
sir.
you talking about the nose tackle and the two defensive tackles. I say defensive tackles. Some people say
Yeah, what some
defensive
of them call
ends.
one of them a DN.
I don't.
You know how it go.
Yeah.
It don't really matter.
If you're not playing the five technique or out, I'm not calling you no defensive end. If you a three end, you a defensive tackle and a nose tackle. That
Right, right.
so, but with just those three down linemen and in a 3-4, a true 3-4 base defense, don't you feel like? Well, let me just give you my opinion. I feel like in the strength of a true 3-4 defense is straight down the middle. It starts from the nose tackle to the
Mm-hmm.
on ball linebacker back to the safety. So in a base true 3-4, you want Bobby Brown at the nose tackle position and put Lee Hunter on one side and Derek Brown on the
Yes,
other.
that's gonna be stout, boy. I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be stout.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if they want to run that 4-2-5 and they just want to go with two defensive tackles and your two edge rushers and two middle linebackers, your on ball or off ball, and whether they playing a dime package or nickel package, with whoever the third safety or the third corner is, that's cool. But on first and second downs, and in a when a lot of teams run a lot of more 12 personnel and 13 personnel, you
Mhm.
have to, in my opinion, you have to be more stout up front. And that's where the importance of having that nose tackle right in the middle helps you, especially in the run game. I,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if y'all noticed last year when Bobby Brown was in the game,
Yes.
the
he
run
was,
Oh my
defense
God.
the
he
run
was
defense was
wrecking
a
shit,
major
bro.
difference.
Major
I
Thank
difference.
you.
I was having
Yes,
this
thank
discussion with
you.
somebody, Tony, and they was just sitting here arguing me up and down that I think it was Nick Tri-State. Nick, if you out there, bro,
They ain't watching the games, Papa.
bring your light skinned self on up
I
here.
seen
Cause
that nigga shedding motherfuckers and hitting
what?
motherfuckers in the backfield and getting up hype. Like, yeah, nigga, y'all need to put me in the game type shit.
I'm
Like,
sorry,
I be knowing, like, you can
Yeah.
see the intensity on the people's face. Like, nigga, like, I'm out here, nigga, like, yeah, let me cook type shit.
bro. I literally was having this. Bro, it's so funny that
Hey,
y'all talk about
broski,
this
I see
because
what you did there. He says Bobby Brown's prerogative that he won't be out there that much.
Yeah,
look,
that's just
see,
Y'all don't
because
get
the
it.
league has went
Y'all
through
don't get it. It's
more 11
my
I get
prerogative.
personnel.
it. It's my prerogative. I'ma
So
do what
yeah,
I
yeah.
want to do. Broski,
So
you tell me
yeah,
your
Hey, why
age.
why why 336 messing with you, Tico?
what he
he
said.
said
He said,
he said
Tico.
Tico plays second base. Stop talking football with him, please.
Second base. Hey, to the old no shit about baseball,
Oh
boy.
man.
That's one of the oldest sports that I started getting cut at the early age. I said,
Yeah,
nah, I don't
for
like this
real.
fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
But
this.
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead. Papa, you had jumped in, but go ahead and then I'm gonna let get T Code's opinion about the 3-4.
So my and I'm gonna be real short. My whole my whole thinking process is that we got a defensive coordinator who's supposed to be have the defense of a 3-4. I understand why people say, "Oh, we didn't have the players to run the 4-2-5. I mean, run the 3-4. That's why we was doing more 4-2-4, 4-2-5, because of not having the right type of players that you need to run a 3-4." Okay, now this is supposed to be the no excuses year. Should this also be the no excuses year for? Okay, we should see the 3-4 a little bit more because of the players that we got. Do we have the players, which I think we do, to run a acclimate, decent 3-4 defense? That's all I'm
I
saying.
think
But
we
that,
do.
but Bobby
I think
Brown,
we do now.
I don't know how Nick Tri-State didn't see. He said he didn't. I said that when Bobby Brown was out there, he dominated on with they dominated as a defensive line, stopping the run.
Yes.
No, they did not. I said, boy,
Yes.
you better go watch the tape.
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I
Thank
could
y'all for confirming that
I
for me.
could promise you this one thing that as far as I remember, whenever Bobby Brown was out there and he was in the middle, there was no run game up the middle. It was either wide right or wide left. There was nothing. There was no inside
That's it.
zone. There was no power. No none of that. Everything was on the outside because he was collapsed in the middle. But go ahead, Tico.
Yeah. Um, See, I think it's a collection of a few things as far as the 3-4. You know, teams only gonna run about 20 to 20, maybe 27% of base. Now, when we
I
talking
mean,
about,
I mean to cut you off. When you were in the league, when you were with the Jets and the Bears, did they run a 3-4 or were they running a 4-3?
we was 4-3 gap
Okay.
defense.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Go
we had
ahead.
Roosevelt, Colvin, Erlacher, and I forgot the other guy's name that we had up
Okay.
there. But yeah, they also when you're talking about being able to run base a little bit more, it did have to do with a little bit of personnel popping, but not the personnel
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
but not what you would expect.
Okay,
You know
talk
what I'm
to me.
saying? You have to. It's kind of like the chess match as far as like, okay, well we can go 3-4 against this 12 personnel, but they have two athletic tight ends type shit.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
almost like our safeties and linebackers still kind of handicapped us to where we could keep the base on it. Like some teams can keep their base on the field, bring that safety down in the slot. I'm talking about even against
Mm-hmm.
13 personnel. They can bring their safety
Mm-hmm.
down in the slot, and they got a coverage
Mm-hmm.
linebacker that can play that tight end. And they ain't even got to
Yep.
get out of base because they got the
Yep.
personnel on the
Thank
field
you.
already where they ain't got to bring
Oh
no
God.
nickel in.
Thank
You
you.
know, you see what I'm saying?
Thank
That's
you.
the difference
Thank
because you
you.
got to
Thank
just in
you.
case they
Thank you.
run, just in case they pass the ball, you need some athletes on the field that can keep up. We got there, a Laporta and forgot to do his backup name or Colston and Komet. Or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What I'm saying you need or Andrews and the other nigga when Baltimore had them. Or these
So
running backs that can run them anger routes out the
yeah.
backfield or can take something in space.
Or them Texas routes. Yeah.
Ooh, man,
Push
listen.
routes.
Man,
Yeah.
listen. We ain't got no. When the last
Listen,
time you seen us run a Texas route? McCaffrey.
it's Christian McCaffrey. Exactly. Exactly. So, but yeah, but defensively, that's and Broski said Warwick Holman. I don't know who that is.
Warwick. Yep, Warwick. Yeah,
That was
he
the other
know. Yeah,
linebacker.
Holman. Yeah, Warwick
Okay.
Holman.
Okay. But yeah, that's why in today's NFL, I think it was 336 and somebody else. We were having this discussion. Well, I think 336 was in the chat, but we were on Unk channel, and I was telling them, what defense that we ran the most of, and they, I know 3-4 is the core, is the base of what Evero designed his defense off of, right?
Right.
But if you look at most teams in the league nowadays are not in a they standard first and second down package is 4-2-5. There's not many defenses nowadays where you don't have that star position field. You know what I'm saying? You don't see
Right.
too many defenses where you have three middle linebackers on the field.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
almost
don't.
like they willing on first down. If it ain't a heavy run, we don't get to see what down it is. If it ain't a heavy run down, it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like they willing to see if they
Right.
can stop the run in that 4-2-5 first. Because if we can stop the run in the 4-2-5, ain't no need of us going to the 3-4.
Right.
You see what I'm
So
saying? So that's
yes,
the chess match.
yeah. So the base is the core, the 3-4. That is the core. But what you predominantly see on first and second downs is a 4-2-5. So that's why I said if that's what you're running predominantly on first and second down, that is, in my opinion, your base defense. Is no longer a 3-4. 4-3 is pretty much obsolete in the NFL nowadays because these defenses have to evolve and match the offensive personnel nowadays. The NFL is a passing league. Now they're
Right.
trying to go back. Once the defense caught on to that and made adjustments to that, then the
Mhm.
offense said, "Oh well, we're gonna go back and we're gonna start running 12 and 13
And
personnel,
still
and we're
passing the
gonna
ball
have
on your ass.
right and still passing because now you got to cover one, maybe two tight ends down the seam or out in the flat. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? These dudes 4-5 in the 40, 6-6, 6-7.
That's
What
what
you
they're
gonna
gonna
do
do in the
about that?
Raiders. That's what they're gonna do
Yeah.
with the
So
Raiders. The
so
Raiders
so
gonna get
now
two
these
tight ends.
defenses had to readjust to what these offenses was presenting. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Ooh, I feel a weight lifted
Hey
off my
man,
shoulder. You hear that 336? I know he in the chat. I know he in the chat. Yeah. Let me catch up on some of these. Shout out to Black Ron, aka Smokey, better known as Circle. Shout out to him. Appreciate you.
bravo,
He gonna
Dino,
cut. He
young
gonna
Bobby
cuss me
Brown.
out. Yeah. Hey, shout out you to Circle. Appreciate you tapping in, my
Bobby
guy.
Black, my
Hey,
bad, Bobby Black.
yeah. Red Swarm 1522. Hey, appreciate you tapping in, Red Swarm, aka Red Fine Bomb. Hey, if you guys have not hit the like button, do that for me. Subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed. Turn on that post notification bell. Select all so you'll be made aware when I go live. It's Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. All right. If you're enjoying the content once again, enjoying the vibe, loving the show, hey, the QR codes at the top right, support the show. Um, whatever your heart desires. My goal every day is $25. Shout out to SC and NH. They helped me reach that goal, but the show's still going on. So if you are enjoying that show and you feel like you want to donate, and show love to the show, I'll greatly appreciate that. And the link is also pinned in the comments on YouTube. All right. So there's a link if that's easier for you to get to. Okay. Papa, did you have something else to say?
No, no, no. That was just that whole nose tackle thing has been a thorn in my side.
Yeah.
Explaining that to other
Yeah.
people, especially when it comes to Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Shout out to Quante Lewis too. He said, "What's good, Tony and Tico? What's good, Quante? Quante, appreciate you tapping in, my guy." And it was somebody else I saw, but I didn't get to. Was
What
that it?
up, Quante?
Yeah, I want to make sure I covered everybody. Uh, yeah, we already said 336 with his crazy ass. Uh, still magnetic G with the eye emojis. J Hud said the Panthers ran 3-4, 23.5% of the time, and nickel 58.3% of the time last year. Yeah, they how you can okay, so for people that don't know, how you can always tell that the Panthers are in a nickel defense, all you have to do is look for Trevor Maury. If he's on the field, they are typically in some type of nickel defense. Whether he's playing deep safety or in the slot, whether he playing off ball linebacker, in a rush package or whatnot, that is your star. That is your jack of all trades. That's why the defense can be so um have so much versatility because you don't have to change personnel because he covers about three or four positions. So that's why he's always on the field. That's that star position. That's something that Nick Saban made famous in college. With if anybody know anything about the Nick Saban defense, what he loves to run cover six, cover seven, match principles. That star and that joker, that's a Nick Saban creation. And he did that back at LSU, not Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have one more question regarding this topic, and then we can move on. Um and Papa, you can go first this time. Did the playoff appearance earn Dan Morgan more trust, or should consistent contention now become the standard? What say you?
Um, so it depends on who you're asking the trust from. Is if you're telling the fans, well, I can't speak for all of them, but for me, um, I say yes.
Said
Um,
Falcon brisket.
I my whole perspective on Dan Morgan is that I said I'll give him 3 years, because of I think that's just what you should do when it comes to a GM, and the
Yeah.
severity of the team. It also is up and down. Depends on how bad the team is constructed before they got there. I think he's done a good job, not a great job, but I think he's done a good job. And I think that what I love about our staff in general is that they self scouting themselves and coming to the forefront and telling you, okay, I messed up here. I'm gonna do better here. I love that he's conniving. He throws a lot of smoke screens and nobody can really detect what he's doing. I love that about him too. Um, and then if you really want to truly be honest with people, what he's done so far, he hasn't went backwards. Now, everybody that we signed has maybe not performed, but we haven't been losing as far as uh total of wins. We've gotten better every single year since Dan Morgan's been here. So I'm not willing
Right.
to shit on him personally. I mean, it's probably a better word to use, but I'm not willing to talk down on him
No, you
until
good. You good.
until you know what I'm saying, he shows me outside otherwise. We're not gonna agree with every single thing that's it's just like your mom or your daddy, your uncle. You didn't agree with everything your mom and daddy said, but you know what I'm saying, it was a reason for it. Sometimes you just have to find out later on in life. So right now he has my support. Um and yeah, I think he has earned it. And this year right here is really gonna tell you a lot. This is such a big year.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Go ahead, Tico. What you think?
I definitely think the proof is in the pudding with Dan Morgan, and I think Brett, his right hand man, Tillis has to get a lot of the credit too for
Mm-hmm.
them two together. It's kind of like a match made in heaven with the talent and the numbers.
Yeah.
So we see the type of players that they're bringing in versus and the type of players that they're drafting versus the last regime. Um,
Right.
we never really had any, you know, late round or undrafted rookies that really popped or they even really gave a chance to pop. You know what I'm saying? Since Louisville may have been the only one that they really, and I think yeah, and I think they probably kind of lucked up on him because I think somebody had got hurt and he had to play. But I think if he wouldn't have got that opportunity to play that year, they probably would have cut him too. So I feel like we came a long way from just the type of players that we get and just the eye for talent as well as free agents. Because I remember back before Federer, we like I was almost expecting not to sign nobody. We wasn't signing anybody, and if we was, they were just middle of the road veterans. You know, like
Right. Exactly.
Roman Harper, or you know, what I'm saying Gerald McCord probably was the best nigga that we had signed in a long time. That was like one of the biggest free agents
Right.
we had ever signed before. You know, during that era, not well, when we first came into the league, we was getting a whole lot of free agents because we was expansion, uh,
Right.
but yeah, I think that we definitely on the right trajectory. We getting players that want to come to Carolina now. People believe in Dan. Um, I don't want to, you know, kind of smooth over the fact that he studied under, is it Snyder in Seattle? Is that his last name?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
John
it's
John
Dan
Snyder. Yeah,
Dan
John,
John
Snyder.
Snyder.
John. Yeah, I always want to call him. I always want to say Daniel. But yeah, I can't do him that disservice.
And
No,
Chico,
Dan
I,
Snyder was the owner
I
of
always want to do
the
my guy like
Redskins.
that, but yeah, they
Yeah, don't do him
totally
like that.
different franchises of people, baby.
and
John.
you got his other guy in Buffalo that he has a good relationship with too.
Yeah, Bean. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he went to
Bean.
Bean after
Yeah,
he left Seattle for
Yeah,
sure.
yep.
Exactly. So
yeah.
not only do he have the eye for the game, but he has great mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like yeah, with him and Tillis together, yeah, even 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 without Bryce. And I know Bryce,
Right.
people that don't like Bryce or glass half full with Bryce may be surprised to hear me say that. But uh, if anybody know I'm glass half full with Bryce. and that don't mean.
Okay.
And if you know what half full mean, if the
What you mean
glass
by
ain't
that,
full
Tico?
yet. Either way you look at it, it ain't full.
Right.
So that should let you know what I'm saying, that I ain't glazing. I'm just saying I feel like
Right.
he'll figure it out. Some people feel like I gotta see it, some people feel like he won't. But either way, they
Right.
constructing this team to whether it's on him whether he want to get them figured out or not. If he want to stay here, cool. If not, then yeah, we on to the next one, and whichever one we drop in this bit, they gonna be loaded with people already signed and already under contract. And somebody said something yesterday about uh us going ahead and getting our left tackle now, just in case Bryce don't pan out. We won't need no left tackle next year.
Man, Tico,
You see
I
what I'm
heard
saying?
some
These motherfuckers,
craziness.
hey, you see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? People might not like that, but I mean, you got to consider the possibility. There is a chance that Bryce can flop.
Man,
It
Yeah.
is.
Tico,
I mean, yeah.
I don't. People, Saints fans telling me that we should have went and got Makai Lemon instead of going get a left tackle. I said, "What are you
Nah,
talking
we think
about?"
nah, we think we it's bigger than just weapons for Bryce now, baby.
That's what I'm trying to tell him. Like, boy,
Yeah.
you sound slow.
Shit, I ain't gonna never
Yeah.
be mad with no left tackle, especially the one we got.
Right. We needed a left tackle. It wasn't like something that we just added because we just wanted one. No, we needed one.
Right. Hey, shout out the my little big cousin, armchair GM CJ, tapping in. He said, "Good morning, y'all."
What else, CJ?
No, he said, "Good morning, everyone. How y'all are?"
Mm,
Yeah, let me
That's
read
the
that
Ebonics
again.
right there.
He said, "Good." Hey,
that's
Papa,
that
he gonna
Yoda.
get you, Papa.
Talking like
He said,
Yoda,
That's
ain't
"Good
all right.
morning, everyone. How y'all are?" Now, that was me. He would have gave me all kind of hell, but I'm gonna let him live. I'm gonna let him live
it? Yoda.
and let y'all get him. Yeah. He said, nah, T Cole, if you think Bryce has 1 in 1 million chance to do anything, then you don't know football. Okay, T Cole, he talking directly to
Mm.
you, sir. What you mean? What you mean by that, CJ?
To
What you
do
mean by that, Tico?
anything, hey, he's still here. Most people expecting him to be gone by now. Most people didn't even expect him to get the 50 option picked up.
That
But
is
I
true.
see
I
what
try
he's
to stay away
saying.
from Bryce.
I see what he's saying though. Cause
Yeah.
hey, that's how the left, the far left feel. He
Not the
ain't got a
far
chance
left.
in hell.
Not the
He
far
ain't got a
left.
snowball chance in
Why they
hell.
gotta be the far left? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Why?
Right? I don't look, I ain't listen. I
Hey,
don't get into all that. Hey, don't do that,
there's
Papa.
really no in
no, I
between
know
when
what
it
Tico
comes.
just did.
Don't
I
do
know what he
that.
just did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Papa, you know there's really no in between when it comes to Bryce. But we're gonna get off that subject real quick before it can turn into something. So
Yeah,
we're gonna get off
Kabroski
that
hit that
real
line
quick.
immediately.
Yeah, no, it won't. Said Tony, that's that part of Brunswick County talk you never heard. Okay, he talk he talking about my father's side of the family, which is our side of the family from Brunswick County. Yeah, I ain't never heard like that, CJ. You you just caught me off guard with that one. You caught me slap off guard with that one. SC said, Curtis Jr., let me get a few chairs for a discount, sir. Talking to CJ. He said, no, I'm saying that's how you're judged if you don't call him the worst thing on the planet.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see what he
okay.
was saying. I see
Okay.
what he was saying.
Yeah. Uh SC said 8336. So yesterday we were going 8 and 9 or 9 and 8 at best.
Now, I heard
Okay.
336 said 11 was the ceiling and 8 is the floor. That's what I heard
Oh,
him say.
okay. Okay. So he gave a little room for possibility of growth this year. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you look at it, it was we went from 2 to 5 to 8. So you know that 3 game escalation each year. So if he's right on that, if the ceiling is 11 and we hit 10 or 11, I would be happy with that.
Would you be happy with 8 and 9?
I would definitely be happy with that. Huh?
Would you be happy with 8 and 9?
If we win the division, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If we win the division, Like if we wouldn't have won the division last year and didn't make the playoffs, then 8 and 9 would just mean just what it meant. But
Mhm.
you can hang your hat on winning the division and making it to the playoffs at 8 and 9, and your argument could be regardless of what the record said, we NFC South champions and we hosted the first round playoff game.
Right.
That matters in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
you can't discredit like the divisions. You know what I'm saying? Like some year the division might be trash. Some years just that's just how division games go. They gonna be up and down. You never know who gonna have who number. Year in and year out, you play each other twice every year. So the division
Yeah.
can go like shit. I mean, you know how I was been going for the last few years, as far as especially last year with the three-way tie type, and then like when you go to the outside of the division, we were able to. That's where we were able to kind of close the gap.
Right.
And, sweeping Atlanta helped us out, but then we had definitely a lot more signature wins as well. That's another
Yeah.
thing I'll be trying to
And
explain. Go ahead.
I want to say don't get me wrong. I understand people saying that um they would want us to have won it outright. They would want us to have won it without needing help from anybody. I
Oh
get
yeah,
all that. And
hell yeah.
at the end of the day, yeah, you don't want to have to depend on anybody, uh, whether you get in or out. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. But when we have gone almost 10 years, 8 to 10 years,
Mhm.
without having a division title or making it to the playoffs, and then we finally do, it's like you can celebrate a little bit. Like you might not give no full blown celebration like we just won a Super Bowl, but you can kind of be happy a little bit that we accomplished something that we haven't accomplished in a long time.
Can't take
Regardless
away
how you may, yeah,
you can't take away
regardless of how
accolades.
you may,
Can't.
feel about it, an accomplishment was achieved. Like Papa said, you can't take away accolades. All right. Shout out the King of Queen City 1503. He said to answer the question, it's a risk worth taking at this point. I agree with you. I agree with you, King of Queen City. Hey, thank you for tapping in. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already became a member. Turn on your post notification bell. Select all so you'll be made aware whenever I go live. Streaming to my channel, Unbiased Opinion Sports Talk, and Armchair GM CJ channel as well. Okay. Um, see, they said, do you know how many teams make playoffs or are put in better situation because of factors they couldn't control? Man, all I say is, won't he do it? That's a fact. Every year, somebody needs somebody help. Every year, every year, somebody needs somebody help. Those last two games of the regular season, those are like do or die time of the year for a lot of teams. We were not the only ones that made it off the back of somebody else. And I promise you, whoever made it in, they ain't complaining at all. They're not complaining at all. So I'm gonna transition to topic two. So Morgan's overall plan can be debated, but every general manager eventually has one move that becomes the clearest test of his philosophy. For Dan Morgan, that move may be Jaelan Phillips. This was not a cheap depth signing. This was a major financial commitment to a premium player at a premium position. Now we have to separate the player's ceiling from the risk attached to the investment. All right. So let me drop this banner. To Jaelan Phillips, the defining gamble. All right. So here's the facts. The Panthers signed Phillips to a 4-year, $120 million contract. The deal includes 80 million in total guarantees, with 60 million fully guaranteed at signing and a $35 million signing bonus. Jaelan Phillips suffered a ruptured Achilles in 2023 and an ACL injury in 2024, limiting him to 4 games during the 2024 season. He returned to play all 17 games in 2025. In 2025, Phillips recorded 5 sacks, but generated 63 quarterback pressures, which ranked 11th in the NFL according to Next Gen Stats. Following his midseason trade to Philadelphia, he produced 34 pressures, the most on the Eagles during that span. The Panthers finished the 2025 regular season with 30 sacks, tied for 28th in the league, making pass rush one of their clearest off-season needs. So the context is sacks matters, but they do not tell the entire story of an edge rusher. Pressure can force quarterbacks off their spot, speed up their internal clock, create bad throws, and help the rest of the defense. Phillips has shown he can consistently disrupt protections, even when his sack total does not fully reflect his impact. The, the concern is availability. Carolina did not sign Phillips to be a rotational player. The Panthers paid him to become a frontline difference maker who can change protections and give Ivero a dependable pass rush threat. Both his disruption and his availability matter. So here's the question, fellas. And Tico, you go first this time. So was signing Jaelan Phillips a smart, calculated risk by Dan Morgan, or did the Panthers invest too heavily in a player with legitimate durability concerns? What say you, sir?
Mm.
Yeah, shaking a little honey from the tree this morning. Come
Yes,
on now.
sir. Yes, sir. Get a little butter from the duck. Yes, sir.
I like that.
Yes, sir. Man.
Oh God.
Is is well, we know the facts, like you said, part of the facts, we know that he was the one of the premier edge rushers on the market. Uh
Mm-hmm.
my guy uh
Hold on. Before, what? Were you
go
going
ahead.
to your train thought? Because I didn't see that. Let me add my brother, uh, Red Bomb to the swarm. Red, what's happening?
What's good? Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good
What's up?
morning,
What's up?
Good
What
Red.
up,
morning.
Swamp?
Don't come in
What's
here
good?
spilling coffee. Don't come in here
Well,
spilling
Pop,
coffee.
I was gonna say, if I got too much energy for y'all this morning, blame it on the coffee. I'm on my second
Blame
cup.
it on.
Yeah, and not the alcohol, but the coffee. When you work
Yeah.
a 9-hour work day, although it be from home, I mean, I'm still looking at these monitors all day. So,
Hey,
I fuck around and
well, I
bump
know
my
the
head on the
struggle.
desk, Tony. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh, I know the struggle.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Poppin, I just came
But
to offer you a cup of
hold,
coffee. I'm
hold, hold
sorry I
on,
don't
hold
have
on,
it.
Red. Before
Oh, my
before
bad.
you
My
before
bad.
you go into it, let Tico go ahead and answer the question. Then
Yeah.
I'll come to you
Yes, sir.
next. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Tico. My bad.
Oh yeah. I was just about to say my guy down in Texas just got 50. So if you put that 30 into perspective, when he got pretty much what he was supposed to get, and that's what we were saying.
Exactly.
That's what we were saying when it happened. We were like, 30 really ain't nowhere near top of the market anymore.
Nowhere.
You see what I'm
Nowhere.
saying? So that 30
Yeah.
that he got is pretty much right around his production, what he was, slated to get. So I ain't really had no problem there. And
Right.
I definitely feel like there is something to be said about a player that gets there but can't get home. And I see where people have that issue with him. I seen it on some of the film, some of the highlights, even some full game tapes that he kind of arm tackles and and slides down the quarterback's leg, and he let people slide off him a little bit too
Yeah.
easy. Like he ain't wrapping
Yeah.
up.
Don't take all my takes,
Yes.
Tico. Dang, leave me some.
Yeah. Hey, talk your
but
shit, Tico.
but
You
I'm
seeing the
still
same things I've seen too.
yeah, but I'm about to be finished, but my bad, homie. But yeah, I still think his disruption, his first step, will help people that can close. Like we don't have Scorton can close. You know, Pat Jones can close. You know, Derek Brown, Big Grizzly can close. When they
Yeah.
get you in that grasp, too many people don't get away from them. So I feel like
Right.
he can be that force multiplier to where if you don't double team him, he gonna cause havoc. And if you double team him, he might force, let somebody else get home or whatever. But like
Exactly.
it's all hindsight in the end of the day. As far as if it was worth it, we can't tell you if it's worth it right now.
Exactly. Go ahead, Red. What you feel about that? Do you need me to read the question again?
No, I think I got it this time. The
Okay. Okay.
gamble, whether it was worth it. I think y'all paid what you had to pay. You know what I'm saying? If your GM identified Phillips as the guy he wanted, then he had to pay what he had to pay to get him. I think we looked at a couple of weeks ago because I don't know if it was on here, Tony, or if it was with PPP, but I misquoted his market value at the time, and then Tico reminded me I had to go look at it again. And y'all didn't pay a tremendous amount, nowhere near double what his market value was. But I think when you look at the top of the market edge rushers, I don't think that you should hold Jaelan Phillips in the same conversation with them. Because as I've
Right.
said before, we've sort of exhausted that discussion. What's the greater value, a sack artist or a pressure artist? They both have value. So that's without
Right.
question. It gets in the quarterback's head. But if you ask me, and I've always felt this way, a quarterback hate for a big 250-pound, 60-pound motherfucker to put their hands on him, running through his ass. So more so than just, getting knocked off his spot, which says in his mind, hurry up and get rid of the ball. So like I said, I think Dan Morgan paid what he had to pay to get Jaelan Phillips. Once the money was announced, it kind of became obvious that Odafe Owe had a high number of pressures, but he got home more often than Phillips did. Certainly Trey Hendrickson was right in that area too. And, before people attack me for saying, but that motherfucker, swarm this and that. I mean, you have young edge rushers that you're developing. So maybe you get Trey Hendrickson on a 2-year deal and let those guys develop behind him and then let him walk. Just a thought. But the risk involved is interesting, because I catch a lot of heat for the Tua and the Michael Penix injury history.
Right.
Jaelan Phillips has missed more time as an NFL player than Tua Tagovailoa has. So
Yeah.
I
I
used
think
to
so.
throw this as a side jab, and it's irrelevant when you ask me, but it's just a fight back tactic. So you can blame me for it if you want to, but it's a fact. Is that if you ask, I know Tua, it was recommended by the NFL at large that Tua maybe should consider retiring due to his concussions. He didn't, but I don't know if that many Panthers fans know that Jaelan Phillips once did retire from football, although it was, his collegiate days from
Yeah, that was
concussions.
in college. Yeah.
Yeah, from concussions. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
when you look at the total amount of time that he's missed, that's that. And then the last thing I'll say is this, and then Popin, I know you got to go ahead and go. I don't know. I hear this discussion a lot, but I don't know if people have looked into the numbers. Tony, you remember a couple of weeks back, I pulled up the chips, double and triple rates for defensive linemen across the NFL. And, there's this misnomer that the attention paid to Jaelan Phillips freed up other defensive linemen. And that's actually the reverse of the actual case of what the numbers show you. The numbers show you that the defensive linemen in both Miami and Philadelphia, they received a higher chip rate, a higher double team rate, and a higher triple team rate than Jaelan Phillips did. So if your premise is that double and triple teams along the line free up other linemen, then the statistics show that Jaelan Phillips was freed up due to his cohorts on the defensive line receiving chips, doubles, and triple teams. And I think that aside from the health risk, the injury risk, you have to be concerned that if he can't get home on the quarterback with single coverage on him, single blocker, I mean, if he goes to not as good of a defensive line and he does draw more double teams and occasional triple teams, I think that I get the excitement when you get a high name player. I get that excitement. I've lived through it, even at the quarterback position. But just be prepared. Just like y'all gave me hell about Kirk Cousins and all that money we spent on him, just be prepared to hear from him during the season.
Go ahead, Poppy.
Well, I mean, T. Cole ain't leave nothing left on the bone. So he pretty much said everything I was gonna say. Only thing I was gonna say, the money had to be spent. The money had to be spent, and that's what they decided to go with it. He wasn't on my radar. Um, I do have expectations just because even though he may not have got what other guys have got, I know what we need here. We did have a guy here some time ago who maybe didn't apply as much pressure, but he was definitely getting to the quarterback. It seems like people are transitioning now in the Pantherland that pressure is more important than sacks and this, that, and other. However, wherever you take your stance at is cool. I like a guy who comes in and does his job. So if his job is for 120 something million just to get pressures, I'm gonna be upset of that. I'm just being bluntly honest. I want him to get to that quarterback as well. 5 sacks would not be enough for me, and that's my end of statement.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Well, let me I'm gonna ask this question because I think I kind of given my take on it when I was asked at the beginning of the show. And Poppin, you can go first on this one. What level of production would Phillips need to deliver for his contract to feel justified?
Well, consistency of staying healthy would be the number one thing I would ask.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Because I forgot to do this. Shout out to Ville Kids Show. That's AKA Freddie J. He said, "Good morning, my brother. Salute to the OG Red and Tony. What's good, popping in T Code?
Salute.
Hey, what's
What
good,
up, Freddie?
Freddie? I like
No credit.
that logo that you have, my guy. Uh, I can't see it in full, but it looks good. Hey, wishing you well on your channel whenever you kick that off, and I have already subscribed. All right. Um, let me just let's see. I think Reality B said I think Tepper is happy with Dan and Canales. Dan actually put asses in the seats, create a winning mentality, and Dave made Bryce look better and the team get more wins every year he's been here. That's fact. You can't argue with the wins. They have increased. He Jermaine J.P. Shepherd, aka Black Ass Jermaine, is what I call him. He said, "WTF, we lying about today," with the eye emoji, LOL. Hey, appreciate you, Jermaine, for tapping in, man. Subscribe, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. For anybody that hasn't hit the like button, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the post notification bell. Select all so you'll be made aware whenever I do go live. That's every weekday, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. And Freddie said, "Thank you so much. Keep pounding, no doubt, Freddie." And Jermaine with the laughing emojis. Oh, and yeah, Belzo, shout out to you. He said good morning early on. So I did want to recognize you as well, my guy. Thank you for tapping in. You guys answer the poll too. If you haven't answered the poll coming in, do that and like and subscribe. And we're going on 2 hours. If you're enjoying the content and enjoying the conversation, the vibe, the energy this morning, support the show at the right in the right hand corner of the channel of the show. Support the show. There's a QR code. You can scan it. It's also pinned in the comments on the YouTube in the YouTube comments. You can click that link and it will take you to the PayPal. Hey, donate, give whatever you feel your heart desires to the show. I would definitely appreciate it. Appreciate you on that. Go ahead, Poppin. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you good, man. You doing your thing, man. It number one, my expectation is for him to stay healthy, for sure. If he can add 3 more sacks and still keep the same amount of pressures that he had, I'll be happy with it. I'll be happy with it. And that, I mean, it's not high. I don't have, like, you know what I'm saying, expectation that something he can't reach. Um, so that's what I'm gonna say for now. That's what I'm looking for. Give me 8 sacks, keep around the same amount of pressures, um, and stay healthy.
Okay. Tico, what you got?
Right, right.
Shut up, Poppin. Hey, Tico, you still muted.
So
Man,
you're
say
talking about
word.
Jaelan Phillips?
Yeah, what's your
Tico,
expectations?
is you sleep, man?
Nah, I heard you.
Hit that bong one more
Oh,
time. This that
Yeah,
coffee
y'all
blend.
go ahead and get your jabs off.
I
Y'all
like
get
to
your
drop my
jabs off
damn
right
coffee,
now.
That
Papa.
boy, that coffee blend this morning.
I
hey,
like to drop my damn
go ahead,
coffee, Pop.
go
Yeah,
ahead, Tico.
yeah.
What level of production would Phillips need to deliver for this contract to feel justified?
Yeah, need shit, at least double digit sacks. Or, something that passed the eye test. I can't really project, the type of season he gonna have or the production, but uh like Papa said, sacks plus, the the uh the pressures definitely hits. I think that was a interesting thing about uh when Red was talking about hitting the quarterback. I definitely like to go back and see how many times he actually hit the quarterback because that's a separate stack from pressures as well.
Right.
So even when a quarterback released the ball and you get there, that's still like you say, quarterbacks don't like being hit. So, but yeah, I just want to see, by most people's logic that he earned it. I don't know what the stats gonna look like, but I just want shit. I just want him to earn it. Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only just hit, they don't like to be touched, period. Yeah, they just don't like you could just pat them on the shoulder pad and they don't like that.
Yeah,
So
that's why
yeah.
those defensive coordinators, hit if you can get a hit on them, go ahead and hit them. Ain't
Right.
no ballerina, no
Tico,
debutante.
Go ahead,
real quick.
Red.
Yeah, I found it, man. He recorded 14 quarterback hits, 7 while playing for the Dolphins, and 7 after joining the Eagles.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. Red, you got anything on the question that I presented?
No, it's just that.
You're not a Panthers fan, so you really don't have no expectations. But you
Well,
know
no, no,
you
Tony, I do. I expect him to
Oh,
be
the
what he.
hell you don't, Red.
Well, really, I do. because I'm a football fan. So what I
Right,
learned
right.
is when you've seen a player do a certain thing for 3, 4, 5 years, you know, if you're expecting something major to be different, then you're probably going to be disappointed, especially if he's had kind of like the consistent production over multiple teams. Now, sometimes a change in scenery does make a difference. I'm hoping that it will make a difference with Jahan Dotson. But I won't be disappointed if Jahan Dotson proves to be what he has been since he's been in the NFL. But I mean,
Right. I get
I'm
you.
not hopeful for an increase or a decrease in anything for Jaelan Phillips. I'm too old to buy pigs in a blanket. So if you give me the book on a car and I see where it's had a lot of oil trouble, I might buy that car, but I'm gonna buy it with the expectation that I'm gonna have to do something in that motor to stop that motherfucker from leaking oil. So
I get you.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a great analogy. That's a great
yeah, yeah,
analogy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um. So I'm just gonna give my little, I guess you said my lean into it. I believe that Jaden Phillips' move can be a smart and calculated risk, right? Um, the mistake would not be betting on Phillips' talent. His talent and disruption are clearly visible. Um, the mistake would be building the defense as though his health is guaranteed. Um, I think Dan Morgan has to understand both the upside and the downside before this commitment that he made is whether or not it's going to pan out for the good or bad. You know what I mean? So the health concern to me is more of issue than rather he's going to have 5, 8, or 10 sacks. That's you know that's how it is for me. And just given the fact that he played all 17 games last year, um, shows me, for right now, that the health concern is a little bit lesser if he was just coming off the season where he was returning from the ACL injury or tore his Achilles or something like that. So there's production post injury, and he gave you 17 games. So I'm going to hang my hat on that part of it for myself. So we're going to move on into topic 3. Okay, hold on 1 second. We're going to welcome to the stage Freddie, aka the Ville Kid Show. What's going on, Freddie?
What's going on, Tone? Good morning. Salute to you and Red. What up, T. Cole? How y'all doing?
What's
Good
going on, my
morning,
guy?
Freddie. Jay, what's happening with you, there?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
I'm doing good on this great morning.
Yeah.
I like the topic
Go
of the
ahead.
day.
What's on your mind?
I mean, we just talking Jaelan Phillips. I mean, I was kind of going to get to like a lot of people, and I appreciate you shouting me out, Tone. I just want to thank you and say that, and I appreciate everybody that I met. So I had this opportunity to do it myself. I just felt like I needed to get my feet wet into the YouTube thing before I tried my own thing. I've been thinking about it for a
Right.
long time, so I appreciate that. You know,
Hey, shout out to Real Talk Perez. Hey, appreciate you for tapping in.
RTP.
Subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, hit that like button on your way in, and also answer the poll. He said bingo, Red. I don't know what he was. Red said a lot of shit. I don't know exactly what he was talking about, but yeah, Red Real said bingo.
yeah, that nigga said bingo.
Burn.
RTP, Tony, RTP, I don't know if you know him or not, but
N-
he is
No.
okay. He's the biggest Tampa Bay Buccaneer podcaster that you're gonna find traveling the
Okay.
YouTube streets around the NFC South.
Oh, that's
Um,
what's up. That's what's
yeah,
up.
I've been knowing RTP for some while. We've had our run-ins, but he's
Yeah.
somebody whose football acumen, knowledge, I respect greatly. I don't have to say this
Okay.
behind his back or when he ain't here. I can say it when he's here. So
Already.
you ain't gonna always agree with him because, quite
mm.
frankly, he gonna offer a different viewpoint on our teams and on his. But I know him to be that kind of Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. He ain't gonna
Yeah.
sit on nobody podcast, not even his own, and just glaze over the motherfuckers. That is not who RTP is.
Mm-mm.
That's not who
Well,
Perez
I
is.
appreciate that. Hey,
Yeah,
he could tap in. He can tap in and hit the panel anytime, you know. So
yeah,
you know the vibe here, Red. Great conversation, great debate, have great energy. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Create a great vibe. You know, I love to talk ball with anybody. I don't care what team they represent.
yeah. So Tony, I
You
said that
know,
largely. So
yeah,
if you ever see him in the backstage, you won't have to
yeah.
wonder, now who is this? I don't want nobody coming up here with no bullshit trying to bomb the show, and
I've
that's
seen
he.
them. I've seen him on other I think
Yeah, yeah,
on PPP, but I didn't know he was you said
Buccaneer
Buccaneers? Yeah, I didn't know he was a
podcaster. Yeah,
Buccaneers
yeah.
podcaster.
He ain't
Yeah.
coming with
So
that type of
okay.
energy, man. He ain't coming on that type
That's
of
what's
time.
up. That's what's
Yeah,
up. But shout
yeah.
out to you, Real Talk Perez. Hey, appreciate you for tapping in this morning, man. And whenever you get a chance and opportunity and you want to hit the link, hey bro, just hit the link.
So
Yeah. So just catching up on some of these comments. Red talking about oil when the Falcons got 5W20 in a motor that takes 10W30.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, hey, Red, don't take that, Red. Don't
Oh
take that,
no,
Red.
it's all cool. But I didn't just pay $120 million for a motherfucker who brake pads roller scrubbing. I tell you that. You talk about all the motor oil you want to, but you don't hear my brake pads squealing when you come in the neighborhood. How you like that, Tony?
He,
I mean CJ.
he
My bad, Tony. How you like that, CJ? With
yeah.
the blue chain making a nigga wear ass. Shut up. Don't start with me this morning, CJ.
Oh God, I'm weak. I'm
That
weak.
nigga
Don't
stupid,
start
Fed
with
bro.
me
now.
this
Hey,
morning.
shout out Fed now, man. He said if Phillips has 10 sacks, then it would be a below average number to me, just like when Burns was here. Paying 30 mil a year for 8 to 10 sacks is bullshit. All right, Fed now.
Uh,
Appreciate
so
that.
Just
Hey,
saying, no, like
hold
sex.
on, hold on, Freddie. Hold on.
yeah,
I'll let you go 1 second. Hold
yeah, yeah, yeah.
on. He said, "Yes, sir." Talking to OT, talking to Jermaine. Vietnam said, "Tony, please don't let Red take over and ruin your show."
See,
Nah, that ain't gonna be that fit.
you
No,
see how they do Greek?
yeah.
They act like
Why they
they
on
ain't got
Damn.
your
no. They act like that. I don't
why
have
they on
no
your neck,
clue what to.
Red? Why
I
they on
don't
your
know
neck?
what it is, man. I don't know what it
Real
is. But I
Talk
promise
Perez
you
said,
one thing,
but pressure isn't production. All right, Real Talk Perez.
Tony. All I can tell
Uh,
you is one parent to another. Sometimes you can just tell your kids no. You ain't getting no more candy. You ain't getting no sweets. Go brush your teeth. They can be mad. They don't like what you told them. But sometimes you have to actually
right.
whoop their ass before you put them to bed. You know what I'm saying? Stand there in the bathroom and watch them. So all I can say is when they get mad with Swarm like that, it's because they don't like what I'm saying. I get that. I got to school you. They don't like what I'm saying.
Well, hey, well, Red, you know how your takes and your conversation where it leads to.
Yes,
It
sir.
is never it's never in agreement with Panther Nation. So yeah, you gonna get what you get, brother.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
No, I don't
"Mhm."
disagree when y'all say Bryce Young, that Bryce Young
Yeah,
has dominated the Falcons. He has.
right.
But,
And
but if I can
Ronnie
accept that,
B,
why do they get mad when I say Bryce Young ain't never won in week 1 and 2? I'm sorry, Tony. I know we ain't talking about no Bryce Young today. I'm sorry. I apologize.
you ain't sorry, and your apology is not accepted, sir, because I know you.
This is
So
a
Ronnie
whole
B.
fight.
Young said, "Tony, I'm sorry, but I have to disagree. That's Red's take was great. Jaelan Phillips is not the motor of this defense. He is the oil pump we needed in the final 4 minutes of the wild card game." All right, Ronnie, appreciate you. Ray, I think that was a shout out to your take on the
Yes, sir.
whole
Yes, sir.
Jaelan Phillips situation.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Mm,
Ronnie
I
also
appreciate
said
that.
our defense was leaking oil all over the field last year, so much that we couldn't get a stop when we needed to. That is a very great point, Ronnie.
Look
You
at your
do it.
that's a
That's
good
a
cousin.
very
point.
valid point.
That's a good
Yeah, I'm
point.
with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. Uh, Jermaine with the with the laughing
Yeah,
emoji. Let's see. Ronnie also said, "I'm sorry, but Derek Brown will always be the motor on this defense." I agree with that. He is the anchor to this defense.
I
I agree
can't.
with that
We can't disagree with that.
100%. Ronnie said, "I disagree. Phillips will be the motor we needed on this defense. We have been the worst pass rush for years. Phillips was paid and brought in to change this." Well, that's what Fed Nam said. I'm sorry.
Mm,
He said he was disagreeing with Ronnie.
mm.
All right. But yeah,
Man, your cousin, leave me alone, man.
Freddie, go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
Well, I mean, shout out. By the way, shout out to Vietnam, 2-6 brother. But when he talked about 15 sacks, 15 sacks. If you're asking for 15 sacks a season, that's a lot. Um, I kind of stay in the I kind of go off history and what he said when his best season was 7.5 to 8 sacks, but he had like 80 pressures. He had like things like that. So that's kind of the thing that I kind of go back to and look for because that's my expectations because that's what I've seen from him. So I mean that's me personally, and I mean 8 sacks, 80 pressures, two forced fumbles, things like that. You're not only making an impact in one stat, but you're making impact all over. You're forcing fumbles, you're forcing takeaways, you're doing the different things. You're just being a game wrecker. And that's kind of he's a force multiplier. That's kind of what he does. So that's kind of the way
Right,
that that's my expectations of him. 15 sacks is insane. 15
right,
sacks is
right,
crazy.
right.
I
Hey, if you're loving the vibe, you're loving the show, you're loving the conversation and the debate, support the show, man. In the far right, in the top right corner, click that QR code. It's also pinned in the chat for the link to the PayPal. Jermaine, with your black ass, I would greatly appreciate it if you support the show since you here. I had to I had to do that to him. Hey, make sure y'all also like and subscribe to the channel as well. I'll greatly appreciate it. And turn that post notification bell. So let's transition into topic 3. The contract debate is easy to have in July because nobody has played a meaningful snap yet. The real evaluation begins when the season starts. Instead of arguing only about whether Morgan took a risk, we need to establish what results will prove that the risk improved the football team. All right. So let me throw this banner up. And topic 3 is what will prove Dan Morgan was right. All right. So here's the facts again. Phillip joins a Panther outside linebacker group that includes young players such as Nick Scotton and Princely Umar along with additional competition from Patrick Jones II, Travis Gibson, Thomas Incoom, and others who participated during Carolina's offseason program. Morgan already strengthened the middle of the defense by signing Devin Lloyd, giving the Panthers another athletic three-down player in the front seven. Carolina 2025 playoff appearance raised the competitive standard, but the defense still needed more consistent pressure and negative plays entering 2026. So the context is simple. The success of Morgan's plan cannot be measured by one player or one statistic. The proof should show up in 5 areas: pressures becoming sacks, turnovers, and failed drives, better third down defense, more negative plays, development from young edge rushers, a defense capable of helping Carolina contend consistently. Phillips is the headline investment, but the complete front seven must become more disruptive. So the question, and Freddie, you can go first on this one.
mhm.
All right. Said what must happen in 2026 for fans to say Dan Morgan's aggressive roster building approach was proven right?
I
What
think
must happen in 2026?
I think the main thing is the first thing that you said, Tone, is the pressures becoming sacks and more pressures and more giveaway and more takeaways. I think that's like the main purpose for this defense, because this defense would have been top 10 if we had that a season ago. So I think adding
Mm,
those pressures, becoming sacks, those are things that those are things that I think will make this defense just top 10 off the jump, if not top 5, because we already have the secondary in place, because that's Evero's thing. But if pressure comes
right.
with it, this I mean, this defense has potential to be top 10 off bat. I'm not even worried about
Okay.
linebacker, because I know Devin Lloyd's going to hold that down.
All right. Tico, what you got?
Um, I think we need to continue to show progression, to continue to take that next step. Um, Not so much as far as, with the record and the stats, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm always go back to the eye test, because the stats and the record don't always tell the whole story. Of course, I would like to say I wish we 12 games, or Bryce throw for 4,000 yards, but we've
Right.
seen. I mean, the 12 wins definitely solidifies, making it lets you know that you did something right, and you were above and beyond. Um, the teams that you play, you want the upper echelon. So I'm not gonna say that the wins wouldn't reflect that, but I know division is always gonna be tough. I don't see us. We haven't gotten double digits wins yet, so I can't say we're not a perennial double digit team. So I can't sit out here and jump out the window and say 12 wins, even though I know that in the numbers game of probability that is quote unquote possible. You
Right.
you you can't you just can't jump out the window like that. So I'm gonna say that I just need to see uh return on the investment. I need to see um well Tony, you already know my thing. It always gonna come down to, for me, is moving the sticks and getting off the field, bro. At the end of the
Right.
day, no matter how I look,
Right.
you remember when Cooper Cup had that triple crown, they didn't have no
Yeah.
juice on that team.
Right.
I know we always like to
Right.
talk about Bryce not having a 4-3 running back, or a solidified slot receiver, or a 4-4 tight end. But at the end of the day, you got to use what you got and try to find a way to make the shit work. So you know what I'm saying? Whether that's the quarterback, whether that's the schemer, the play caller, or the players, we just need to keep them just fucking chains moving. Get off the field on third down and keep the ball moving on third down for the most part for me.
I got you. I got you. Go ahead, Freddie.
Um, I mean,
Well,
Tico broke
did
it
you go
down.
first? Did you
Yeah,
already
yeah,
go?
yeah. I think
Oh,
Red.
I'm sorry.
Well,
All right, go.
I didn't have much on it, Tony. I didn't have much on it. That
I hope
seems
not.
like it's a no. That seems like it's a Panther question. I get that. So my expectation is that, and I forgive me for just sort of venting or bending in this direction. My expectation
Man,
is,
land the damn plane, Red. Come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
man.
I think that as far as impacting your defense to move you further up into the rankings of overall
Yeah.
defense, the signing of Devin Lloyd was the hit for y'all. Um,
Okay.
J, J, I know that y'all were lasting pressures, so it was smart. It was a smart decision to go out and get a guy who adds pressures. But I think the thing that's going to really be visible on the team, on the field, when you watch the Panthers, if you were to ask me with my football eye, I think it'll be a Devin Lloyd's play, taking away the middle of the field. And that'll have a bigger impact on offenses than a Jaelan Phillips getting around the quarterback, because he doesn't touch quarterbacks. So, and at the notion of him being a force multiplier, um, either people don't know the definition of that when it relates to football, or they haven't looked at who Jaelan Phillips, which is today's topic, is he doesn't create mismatches and benefit his teammates. He benefits from them. So he benefits from playing with other force multipliers. Now, will he get that with Derek Brown? Absolutely. Absolutely. But again, my whole premise and what I'm saying is that Devin Lloyd is going to be a bigger impact. And I don't think many Carolina Panther fans will disagree with me on that. Will have a greater impact on your defense than Phillips.
All right. Hey, Real Top Perez, I see you backstage.
Tony, I'll drop down and let him pull up, man. I you know what I'm saying? I'm good with that, man. I'll drop down and let him pull up.
All right. Appreciate you,
I'll be listening, brother. Yes, sir.
All right. Let me pull up Real Top Perez. What's going on, boss man? Hold on first.
What's good?
Is this Pewter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. When I saw your avatar there, I was like, I think I've seen that before. What's going on, my guy?
Yeah. What's going on, man?
Well, hold on. Well, real quick, shout out to my brother from another tip drill, Will, as I call him, Will Robinson. He said our front office did well. He said Dan did well this offseason. The investment will show on third down production. I believe so, Will. Real quick, just give my lean into the whole discussion with Jaelan Phillips. And I said this early. I know how a lot of people feel when we talk about sacks, and we've had many conversations talking about the difference between sacks and pressures, and which would you rather have, and the NFL is playing players, because they get sacks. Okay, that's all cool, but I always go back to, and I always stand on, how does that sack production or that pressure production, whichever one you choose, affects the defense as a whole, not just individual as one player. Whether you got 15 sacks, 20 sacks, or whatever. How did all that contribute to the defense as a whole? So, if you can bring in somebody that can affect the defense as a whole, and the whole defense can evolve and move up in total defense, or certain categories like third down efficiency, which we were ranked 31st in the league last year. I would deem that to be a win for Carolina. Just even if Jaelan Phillips say he didn't get 10 sacks, but we improved defensively as a whole, and especially in the category where we were the weakest at. If we can see vast improvement in that and improvement overall, then to me, it is a win-win situation. Pewter, go ahead. Share your thoughts, man. I know you've been
So
listening in for a
yeah,
minute. Go ahead.
I was listening. So and Red, you could come back in a little bit. I just really wanted to get this one out. Red knows I'm not a big numbers guy when it comes to football. I feel like a lot of times numbers can be deceiving. Um,
Okay.
for when it comes to like D line production and sacks, it's a little bit harder to say that those numbers are deceiving, because that's kind of like that's the job, is the sack part. But there is a when you're talking about what you're looking forward to, or like what should we expect, or like what needs to be shown to show that it was worth the money. There is a possibility, right, of not having the numbers, but showing that it was worth the money was well spent. And that's because if you feel the pressure, you feel the pressure, right? You're gonna notice the difference. You're gonna notice the difference of, yeah, our defensive line is definitely different. There's pressure. We're still not getting the sack numbers, but there's definitely less time. There's definitely mayhem going on in the pocket. Quarterbacks and teams are not feeling comfortable in the pocket, and our D line has definitely changed. Um,
Right.
I think I think that that's very possible. I think there's a chance that it could be possible that your D line changed for the better, but you still don't see the numbers. And I think because of your offense, a lot of people wouldn't agree with that. How does the offense, dictate that? Well, your offense is still one of the worst in the NFL. You're not putting up a lot of numbers. It allows offenses, the opposing offense, to play it safe, not take a lot of chances throwing the ball. Um, Being able to stick to a game plan of running the ball because your offense is not putting up points. That's forcing them to try to put up points or forcing them to take more chances. And because of that, the
Right.
quarterback can throw it away a lot more. Get rid of plays that are just not, they're breaking down too fast. They just get rid of the ball. Like I said, continue to just run the ball because they're not worried about, getting down the field or scoring. So these are all little things that can happen that even though your defense did change, I'm not saying it did, I'm just saying it as an example. If your D line did change and your D line is better, your D line is getting to the quarterback, but you're not getting these numbers, it could simply be because your offense is not putting enough pressure on the opposing offense to do anything or to force anything or to stay in the pocket and try to stick it out because they got to get down the field, they got to score some points. So it's very possible. Again, the D line is a number game where the numbers pretty much are what the numbers are. The D line numbers pretty much tend not to lie when you talk about production and sack numbers. But there is a
Right.
small possibility that you guys could have a good D line, but the numbers are not showing it yet. That was it.
I agree. I agree. I agree with you, and I also agree with you about the offense. That's something that is not talked about enough as a whole unit. Because typically, when people talk about the offensive side of the ball, they want to focus on one player and one player alone and not look at the offense as a unit, just like it is on defense. And we have ranked at the bottom offensively the past 2 or 3 years or what have you. It is a fact that our defense has taken a major step, and it seems like our offense is stuck in the mud. I do believe that we have added pieces offensively that was needed, especially at wide receiver. I believe if we have a healthy Jonathan Brooks, that our running game will be solid this year. I ain't speak for nobody else. This is me. I still want to see consistency from the quarterback. I've said that from day one. I said it this year, last year, and the year before last. He's not consistent enough for me. There are certain things that him as a quarterback that he can control on his own, especially when we're talking about his footwork, not holding on the ball too long, trying to make a splash play or what have you. There are still some things that he can get better at. He's not a finished product by no means, but again, with that take, people either far left or far right, like Tico was saying earlier. So I leave it there. So that's my honest assessment when it comes to Bryce and when it comes to the offense as a whole. So what you said, no lies detected. So that's how I feel on that. So let me ask this question. Let me ask you this. Which young edge rusher must take the biggest step to help strengthen the overall plan? Tico, you go first on this one. Okay, Tico maybe has stepped away. Go ahead, Fred. You can go first.
Well, mine is like Nick Scorton. I think I think Nick Scorton will be the I, I think Nick Scorton will take another step. I'm the one that's saying that he gets more sacks than Jalen Phillips, but that's where I'm at. I think it's Nick Scorton for sure.
Okay, Nick Scorton. Uh, Pewter, I asked you the same question, and I know you've followed Panthers somewhat. Um, what edge rusher, what young edge rusher that we have, do you think need to take the biggest step to strengthen the overall plan?
They both kind of. Hey, yeah, RTP.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
No,
I
that's cool.
agree.
That's cool.
I think it's him, the youngster that you drafted last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
To my Nick Scorton
it's
or
gotta yeah,
Presley
it's gotta be him.
Presley Presley Umami Yellen was the other one.
It's got well. That's the whole thing is you gotta have a second. You gotta have a second, man. It has if you want your D line to be a problem, you gotta have a Robin to your Batman. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find
That's
that
facts.
Batman, and then you gotta have that
Mm-hmm.
Robin to your Batman. You get that Robin to your Batman, you can start causing havoc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's a
agree.
fact.
You know.
That is a fact. So you gentlemen have anything else that y'all want to say, get off your chest?
uh, nah. Shout out. What's up? Hey, shout out to RTP by the way. Giving his knowledge and insight. Even though we bump heads, there's that's the first thing I can agree with him on. Because I've had heated debates with this man.
Yeah,
Oh
there'll be
yeah.
more.
Yeah,
Appreciate you having me on,
I've
guys.
I've had a couple conversations with Pewter on 704 Charlotte Bound show on Twan Don channel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we've had conversations before. I didn't know that was him, real talk prayers.
Yeah.
So I forgive me for that. But yeah, man. Anytime that you want to hit the link, hey, hit the link, man. Come up and let's chat, let's conversate. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
listening. I'll be listening.
All right, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop Tico, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here, big dog. I was on the call.
Oh, okay. All right. So real quick, which young
Somebody
edge
else trying to
rusher?
come up though.
No.
Okay.
Which young edge rusher must take the biggest step to strengthen the overall plan?
I'm gonna say Princely. I don't really got no
Presley.
problem. Yeah, I don't really got no problem with scoring. Scoring. He had 5 last year. He can do nothing but get better. Um, I say Princely need to make that step because ultimately it's gonna be them two when Jaelan Phillips gone.
Yeah. In the end, it's
Yeah,
definitely gonna be them two. You're right.
yeah, definitely that. Be real said, will Nick start over Pat Jones though? I believe he
Yes.
will. What
Oh
y'all
yeah,
think?
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
not even
Pat
close.
Jones is a backup. NH said Jermaine Princely for me. He talked big shit last year. He has got to back it up. Yeah, you need to back it up too, Jermaine, black ass shepherd. Show the
Mm-hmm.
channel some love. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you like to throw it around in the club. Show your brother some love, man. Go ahead and put him on blast real quick. Uh Papa said yes at Be Real. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna make my closing statement, man, so we can get up out of here. So Dan Morgan has moved beyond the stage where simply improving the roster is enough. The Panthers reached the postseason. The expectations have changed, and Morgan responded by becoming more aggressive. Jaelan Phillips represents the promise and the danger of that approach. If Phillips turns disruption into changing production, I don't know who just left. I think Pewter. The
Mm-hmm.
Panthers may finally have the pass rusher their defense has been missing, but this decision cannot be judged by Phillips alone. Morgan will also be judged by whether the young players develop, whether the pass rush improves as a unit, and whether the defense helps Carolina become a consistent contender. The real test is not whether Dan Morgan was willing to take a risk. The real test is whether the risk moves the Panthers closer to becoming the football team he says he is building. That is how we will know whether this was bold vision or simply too much risk. All right. Thank y'all
Mm-hmm.
for tuning in. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. If you did, share it with a friend or a family member. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, turn that post notification bell, select all so you'll be made aware each morning or every time that I go live. Right now is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern time. If you want even more, consider becoming a member on Patreon. The link is in the YouTube description at the bottom. All the links to my social media channels is at the bottom of the YouTube description. And check it out for links. All right. I'll catch you all next time. Until then, keep pounding.